Welcome to Basic and Bookish Podcast, the perfect place to crash out over our favorite books and connect with readers just like you. I'm Kinsey.
And I'm Karly. Today is all about our initial thoughts and reactions to Adversary to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maehrer, Book 4 in the Assistant and the Villain series.
You can find the timestamps down in the show notes.
And with that, this is your formal spoiler warning for Adversary to the Villain. This book just released, so if you want to be surprised by the ending, pause this episode and return once you finish reading, because trust me, you'll want to be surprised by this one.
Oh, yeah, you do. I really wish that I had a camera set up recording my reactions as I read this, because oh my God, my facial expressions were too much. So please, take our warning seriously. And due to the nature of this book, this podcast obviously is rated R in content and language. If you'd like to skip the ads and have access to full video formats, or see our intense facial reactions, which I'm sure will occur in this episode, you can go watch that on Patreon, and that link can be found in our show.
Now prepare to join the chaos. Honestly, we blame the ADHD.
Okay, so we are obviously going to talk about how much we liked Adversary to the Villain, but first, I am personally dying to discuss that ending. What?
I mean, that ending was insane.
Yeah, I'm still in shock, and I know that Hannah Nicole Maehrer was like, this is the meanest ending that I've written, and it's the worst one, or craziest, or I forget the exact wording she used, but I'm like, damn, she was not lying. So
girl went hard.
She went so hard. I genuinely think this was probably her craziest cliffhanger, and I didn't think it would be possible to top Accomplices cliffhanger. So what are your initial thoughts? And on a scale from 1 to 10, how much did you scream at that cliffhanger?
I don't know that I screamed. I listen, here's what happened. Okay. I was genuinely not expecting Hannah Nicole to go quite that hard.
No.
Like, when I read that epilogue, I was so like, I must have missed something. I must have been missing. There's no way
I'm in so much denial.
The way I'm reading this.
No.
Like, I had to call you and be like, I'm not wrong, right? Like, this is crazy. I couldn't even believe what I was reading. That's how crazy it was.
Yeah, I almost feel icky having Kingsley sitting on my shoulder, because I'm like, can I trust you as a character anymore? Like, listen, that shit was crazy. I'd say, like, I'm just gonna be dramatic and be like, that was a 10. It's not the worst cliffhanger I've ever read. Like, really, it's probably sitting at an 8.
Yeah, I'd say like an 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. Because we both finished it very recently, but since I finished it, it has not left my mind. Like, I am still thinking about it.
Yeah, I will say that, like, for the fact that we kind of got used to the author's writing style, I don't normally have an author, like, shock me quite like that. Like, with Stacey McEwen, you expect it. You know, you expect to be tortured. But with Hannah Nicole, I was like, girl, what we do to you?
I kind of expect it from her, too. And I was actually texting her, but I was, like, messaging her, and she had told me that I was the first person that she knew of who started reading it, like, outside of her actual team. And I was like, oh my God, like, this book's crazy. And I had mentioned, if this goes the way that I think it's going, like, I'm going to die. And it did go exactly where I thought it was going.
And then you died.
And now she's ignoring me. She's like, haha, sucks for you.
You'll learn to live with it.
No, but, like, the moment that they brought up the curse, I was like, bitch, don't tell me. Do not tell me that this. But, like, I knew, because there was still so much tension between them, even though they had already had sex in the last book. And, like, everyone knows they like them. And even just one of the ongoing jokes of the whole book was the whole office knows that they're having sex and that they love each other, etc. But they're still not calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, except we got, like, a proposal of sorts at the very end. He's like, I'll be your husband. I was like, okay. But I was like, I can't process this right now, Tristan, please. But I even just forgot where I was going with this because I'm so flabbergasted by his proposal. But there was all this tension going on, like for no reason with the relationship. And so the moment a curse was brought up, I was like, oh, fuck. We're about to get that slow burn again, which I love slow burn. I love the torture, but I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just knew. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I was like hands clawing down my face.
Yeah. But I was really surprised that the author went that hard. I really was. Like, I wasn't expecting Hannah Nicole Maehrer to go quite that hard. No. Like, but she did, and I have so much respect for her for it. And period. I am dying for that next book. Like, no, dying.
Hannah, if you're listening to this, I would sell my soul to like be on your beta team. Like, genuinely. Like, just, I'll help you out, girl. Just kidding. I'll like send her the link and be like, here you go, watch this. And then she'll be like, actually, I'm going to block her. Just kidding. No, but like that was just like, there was just too much at the end. Like we got Kingsley's betrayal, the curse happening. Then it switched to them actually having their new roles and they couldn't remember each other. And there was like some really weird things going on that we're going to talk about in a bit. And then Kingsley straight up like murdering Amara. Brother.
You should have seen my face.
I audibly gasped.
Yeah.
Girl. Anyway.
I was just like, oh my God. Like, I think I said that out loud.
Yeah. And like,
it was like, oh, okay.
I'd love to think that this is out of character for Kingsley, but this is also the only book where we've actually seen him as a man. And he straight up tried to almost kill Evie with that bomb in like the first book. And so it's like, well, yeah, maybe as a frog he was kind of bad. And he also, I forget which book it was. It may have been Accomplice where he like pulled out a couple screws or something and then the ceiling had collapsed. And I was like, that's suspicious. But
I do feel like, though, that we don't know all of his reasons, and he does actually seem to genuinely be trying to save his friends. Like, I think he is actually scared for them. I don't think he's, like, evil. No. I think he's just doing the wrong things for the right reasons, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, wrong things, right reasons. It's a very Machiavellian approach to life. You know, the ends justify the means. So, see, like, I paid attention in AP Gov.
I didn't.
No, I did not. Don't ask me anything. So, any other, like, initial thoughts before we move on to maybe a little bit more of a structured discussion?
I just had so much fun reading this book, and I could not stop going back to it. Like, I'd have to stop reading because of real life. We had an arc which was so kind of Hannah Nicole Maehrer to make sure got to us.
And her sister/sister-in-law, Iman.
Yeah,
thank you.
Wonderful to work with. Really appreciate you taking care of us. But it wasn't like an audiobook, you know? So, like, I'd have to go do things like feed my dog, and I'd have to like stop reading.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure this weekend I skipped at least 2 meals. So wrapped up in the book, I just like didn't eat because I was so wrapped up reading. But my dog, I would get up to feed my dog.
I was basically a gremlin hiding inside of my basement because there's like a severe heat wave going through right now, and I'm like suffering in the heat. But I was just like,
Kinsey after midnight.
Literally, it was 82 degrees in my bedroom at midnight with the AC on. So I've been sleeping in the basement too. But anyway, I was just like hiding in the basement, just like reading this book, just eating it up and having such a fun time. It was such a funny book. Loved it so much. I had 115 highlights and I want to say 75 notes that I had taken in this book. So I definitely was having a really good time.
Yeah, I definitely think this was the book I needed at this time. Yes. I needed something like fun and funny and whimsical. Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of darkness to this book too. To all of her books, actually. Like, there's really juxtaposition between the whimsicalness and the darkness. But the darkness has this also really like dark humor to it, which is my type of humor. So it just, I needed something to make me laugh, and it delivered. I laughed over and over again while reading this book.
No, me too. Like I had put it in my book review and I'll repeat it here, but I genuinely was laughing out loud and gasping so many times. Even just like when there was drama, I was like, oh, that's tea. Like talking out loud to myself. It's just an entertaining book to be a part of, and it was such a good time. I really enjoyed it. It seems like we're on a consensus here. And I know that we also both really, really loved book 3, which was Accomplice to the Villain. How do you think Adversary compares to Accomplice?
I feel like that is such a hard question to answer.
I know.
And I love them both so much. This book had so many incredible one-liners and so many incredible twists I didn't see coming.
Oh, yeah.
Book 3 had so many incredible scenes that were so visual to me that I really, really loved. I mean, it had the whole mirror on the ceiling bit, which I about died laughing.
That was one of the best parts of Accomplice.
It's like, it's one of the funniest things I've ever read.
No, genuinely.
I died laughing.
No, it was so good.
So, yeah, I mean, they're both up there. I feel like if you asked me every minute, I would say one is slightly more my favorite. It's hard to say. What about you?
I feel very similarly to you. I think that Adversary was more chaotic and that there were higher stakes. But I do think that I preferred the romance in Accomplice to Adversary. Maybe for Blade and Rebecca, I preferred their romance more in this book. We got so many good lines from Tristan. So many good lines. But I just think nothing really beats that final aha moment when they were finally together in Accomplice to the Villain. And I know that this next book, we're going to feel that again when they finally get back together.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I don't know.
This book had all the awkward office chatter about it, though. Which
that's true. Less banter, but then he's going to be so conflicted because he's like, I'm the prince. I'm this hot prince. I can't be in love with the enemy. I'm like, sir, just like sit on her, please.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know, because like I feel like as the series progresses, each book just gets better and better and better. And you had a point where you said a few of the scenes in Accomplice were just a bit more visual, and I do agree with that. And I think it was because of like the craziness of everything happening. But I don't know. It's like I feel like right now it's a tie for me. It's like difficult to say because I love them each for different things. And it's hard for me to be actually taken by surprise by certain events that happen in books. Like, I feel like I have a pretty good radar for a lot of twists. I was shaken to my core multiple times in Adversary, which is incredible. So, whew.
I get what you're saying, though, about the payoff for the romance in book 3, which was delicious. It was so good. But the payoff of the twists in this book, though, also
good.
delicious. Like, oh, man. God, I had so much fun reading both those books. And I feel like sometimes, like, when I'm quote unquote having fun, I'm like just being terrified that somebody's going to get eaten by a dragon or run through with a sword or something. Like the stakes are higher. You know what I mean? Like, it's a more anxiety fun of reading, if that makes, I know that sounds crazy that anxiety sounds like fun, but you know what I mean? When like it's so intense. And like this book was intense.
It was.
But her books are so whimsical and fun. And it's just like such a nice escape from the world sometimes. And
it's so nice.
They're so comforting.
They are. Thank you, Hannah, for listening.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Do you ever hear this?
She heard like the first swearing and she's like, I'm out of here. No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't care.
Oh, no, she swears. No. I've seen some of their videos she's made with her friends.
Oh, yeah. No, we're good. No, she's just like, I don't want to be insulted. No, this entire episode will just be us completely raving about this book.
Yeah. All right. I know we just want to keep raving, but what were your favorite moments / favorite scenes in the book?
Okay, I did go a little bit out of control here as I was writing things down. One moment, well, I think honestly, like if I had to pick like a favorite scene, it might actually be the very end, like before the curse happened, or during the whole time on this ship just because the drama was so funny to me. But just all of the little moments, all of those quippy lines that they had. And there was one part too, just all the teasing and the bantering with all the characters. But one part that stood out to me was when Tristan was doodling Evie and himself torturing Marv. And he literally said, I was just trying to be fun for you. And everyone thought it was suggestive.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I loved that. There's a quote specifically where Evie said, I'm not used to being the pushy one. What's gotten into you, evil overlord? What happened to the no office fraternization policy? And Tristan said, I burned it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I have a couple other quotes, like there's like more serious ones, like about how libraries are a place of refuge. I was like, aw. There were a lot of good quotes here. I'm gonna skip the other one, but oh, here we go. When Lissa had used her starlight magic when the Guvras, and I genuinely don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I always look it up and then I forget. So.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Guvra too. I'm
Okay.
also not positive. Yeah.
So when the adult Guvras were blasting their venom into the kitchen, and then Lissa used her starlight magic, and then everyone's outfits changed except for Blade's. I was like, of course it did, because he already looked so ridiculous and so colorful.
Yeah.
And then the last one I'll mention was that when Moira, aka Fate, was explaining how the Guvras kind of like sprang as a thought from her head, kind of like how Zeus made Athena, Blade responded with, thank the gods my thoughts don't do that. It would get real weird in here real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like what, Blade?
Yeah.
But let's be real, that would happen to me.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yeah.
I had a few too. So first of all, the doodle, I laughed so hard.
Oh my God.
So hard. That's going to be something I'm going to have to give my husband enough context to explain to him and then read it to him and see how he reacts. Because like these are not his type of books. I don't think he'd read these.
Yeah.
But I think he would appreciate that scene. So I'm going to have to do that. But I was just about to say the one you just said. Oh, is that okay?
Go for it, girl.
Okay. We have to talk about the scene, Tristan saving Evie from the fire. Listen. There's a reason why firemen are a thing, okay? And that was so hot.
It was hotter than the flames taking down that theater.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh my God. And then she was concerned that he was dying. I was like, stop, I cannot. And it was after she had run away. She's like, I just hurt you. I'm like, no, baby girl, like you don't hurt him.
Yeah.
That was so good.
It was so good.
That was so good.
I also think just in general, her like running away and leaving was important for her character arc, because Evie is a character that is so much about taking care of everybody else at the expense of herself, that I think that moment was really important, where she does something purely for herself.
Yeah. And
we don't get a lot of that with Evie. Evie doesn't do a lot that's literally just for her, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. So I thought that scene was actually really important for her character arc as well. But listen, it gets to end with Tristan saving her from a fire, and I was like eating it up.
It was pretty freaking good.
But there's also a moment where Evie is talking about her mom, and she says, I don't seek to judge her. And Rebecca cuts her off and is like, I do. Isn't your mother a bitch?
Dude, Rebecca had so many good lines too.
So many. I think I have, this might be a record for me. Let's see how many I have.
I literally have so many.
I have 23 quotes saved from this book, and I don't do that very often. I normally have like 4 quotes for a whole
I'm
book.
trigger happy with my highlights on a Kindle. I had way too many.
There's so many good ones. I literally cannot read all these, but that one with Rebecca, I laughed so hard. She's so funny in this book.
Yes, fully agree. Were there any other like favorite moments for you from any scenes that we haven't discussed?
Oh gosh. I think the fire is the one that really stuck out in my head as being my favorite scene from this book, much like the whole mirror on the ceiling thing was like a touchstone moment for me from the last book. It was that one.
Yeah.
I guess also the moment where Evie's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I read chapter 6.
Oh my God, how do we not talk about this? How do we both skip over this?
So good.
Look, and So Hannah Nicole Maehrer was teasing on her social media, like, oh, just wait until you get to chapter 6. And so I was expecting, because the last time she had done that for Accomplice, it was a character death that she had faked out and something crazy had happened. And so I remember getting past chapter 6, and I was actually quite a few chapters after, and I was like, wait a second, nothing happened in chapter 6. And then when I got to the book, oh, I was like, this is chapter 6. So here she is teasing us again. Yeah, no, I was like, look, listen, we need all of our partners to read our spicy books and do what we need to be done because they're instruction manuals.
Yeah. Listen, my husband reads the books I give him.
Period.
He's reading The Bridge Kingdom right now.
Oh. Congratulations, Karly.
Thank you.
Oh
There
God.
was like this funny conversation happening online regarding the off-campus series because like there's that part where Garrett is like with that girl. And, like, right before that scene, she's like, oh, you want some help blowing off some steam? And then the next scene is him with that girl. And people were like, we need all of our men blowing off steam the way Cary Grant does.
Amen. Amen.
And I was cracking up at that. I was like, yeah, we need more men reading these romance books.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like,
I
the fact that he did this and got turned on from them literally torturing somebody and they're just in the hallway. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Ladies, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, he'd read chapter 6.
Yeah, read chapter 6.
We need that on a t-shirt. We need to tell Hannah Nicole Maehrer that we need that on a t-shirt.
Okay, we'll tell her. Okay. Any moments that genuinely shocked you to your core, surprised you? I compiled a whole list, and I think we're going to have to discuss these at length.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
I mean, we kind of talked about it at the very beginning, but just the epilogue.
I had to go back immediately and reread.
Like, I was so, like, it was one of those moments where I was so shocked that, like, I genuinely thought, like, I was being dumb and reading this wrong. And I was like, oh my God.
For him to
what does
just
that mean?
enter the room and go straight for the heart, fucking wild. Diabolical. Okay.
But I'm here for it because she's awful.
Yeah. I'll say one that fucking shook me. I literally threw my Kindle remote because I had a Kindle stand and I was like, done. What? I did not see this coming. And I don't know if I'm just dumb, but when it was revealed by King Benedict that Nura's magic was stolen from Lissa and that like this whole time it was like I thought, like I was like maybe questioning it when they said, oh well, like magic that's passed down through families, they have this cloth, the Cape of Enchantment or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's kind of strange because Lissa and her mom have the exact same magic. But not once did it even cross my mind that Nura Sage stole her own daughter's magic. Like I was shocked.
Yeah, and I'm like, to what end? Like,
so she could have
like,
a normal life. Like, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
And I'm like, but that's what your whole excuse with Evie was, because you were worried about what would happen to Evie if you didn't. And it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
but
L parents.
It makes me wonder, like, I feel like the parents also had more additional information that, like, we don't know what that is yet, that, like, there was something else. I don't know, but it just, that also threw me for a loop. A lot of things in this book threw me for a loop. And I think that's one of the things I like about her books. I like it being along for the ride. I don't try to, like, Easter egg hunt too hard when I'm reading these, because there's obviously things that stick out and you just can't help it. But like, I love to just kind of be along for the ride for these because they're so much fun. But this book was like a roller coaster.
Yeah, and I feel like Hannah really does a good job at faking us out. There are so many times where I'm determined that someone is guilty and I can't trust them and they're the traitor and then they're not. So she does a really good job at leading the readers on. So, like, I mean, I was definitely expecting Kingsley to betray them at some point since Accomplice. I was like, okay, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop, right? I was still shocked. I gasped when Kingsley stole the key from Tristan. He's like, sorry, bro, let me give you a hug. And then he's like, I had to do what I had to do. And he pulled out the key. I went, like, I was like, how could you? Like, it was already so dramatic when he had his knife to Evie's throat. But then for him to actually steal the key, I was like, oh, nah, bro. Nah, that ain't cool. We don't fuck with that.
Yeah. And I know there was a lot of foreshadowing that Kingsley was the betrayer.
Yeah. We knew that was gonna happen.
We were like suspecting it, but he went through a lot of lengths trying to do something that he did think was in his friend's best interest.
Yeah.
And it's like really sad to me.
It is sad. And like even just from, book one, trying to destroy the office. And I'm like, okay, so Benedict and Kingsley always knew that the Book of Rennedawn, the origin of whatever came from that space. I'm like, that's crazy. That's like a really long time to betray someone, especially someone that's close to you, because that always hurts the most when it's someone that you consider to be a very close friend. And I was just like, brother, what? I'm like, you better have a really good excuse. And I do look forward to finding out what that is.
Yeah, I can read like a whole spin-off series on Kingsley.
Well, maybe if we're lucky.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, like another thing that really shocked me that I'm dying to know why. I do have a theory on it, but I'll save that for a little later. But finding out that Kingsley purposely chose to turn himself into a frog, because we had basically been convinced from the last book that it was Claire's fault and it was originally supposed to be Tristan turned into the frog. But then to find out, he's like, nah, I set that up. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I chose this. I was like, brother, what?
That's what makes me think that like whatever Kingsley was doing was like so that whatever happened started happening a long time ago, and that whatever this was so that his sacrifice to be a frog wouldn't be in vain kind of thing.
Yeah, because he turned into a frog 10 years ago, but then only started working with Benedict for a year. So 9 of those years were him just spent as a frog for no reason.
Yeah. Like, he had to know something else, but I'm sure we can talk about that later. But
did you think that he turned himself into a frog, or was that surprising for you?
I didn't think he turned himself into a frog.
Or like chose to turn himself into a frog.
Yeah, I didn't think that he was an active participant in that happening. I did kind of think, though, that at that point that whatever he was doing was that he realized that some sort of these order of events was so that that wouldn't have been in vain, that like giving up those 10 years of his life wouldn't have been in vain, and that he realized it was like part of something else sort of type of thing, and that to undo that would cause like a bigger problem essentially. So that's kind of like where I was going, but not that he was a conscious participant, because I just think it's also kind of sad that like he's kind of let Claire live with the guilt.
He let so many people live with the guilt for Tristan, guilt for Claire. I'm sure like Tatiana at some point also had some guilt regarding his situation. I mean, I'm almost half convinced now that Winifred's mom wasn't even the enchantress that actually had cursed him, if this was all planned. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the reason why he killed Amara. Who freaking knows? But he's got some splaining to do. That's for sure. Now, the last moment that like genuinely surprised me, which I do think, okay, Kinsey, calm down, was when Tristan was revealed as the core healer. Because I know you and I last year were debating like, what could his real magic be? And after the blade had stabbed him, I was like, oh, well, he has to have some sort of healing ability. But I was thinking it had more to do with like weapons, like almost a Wolverine situation. Like he's like indestructible or something.
Yeah,
because he's a good fighter. And then I was like, oh, duh. Like, so I wasn't expecting him to be core healer. And I also wasn't expecting the magic to have been imbued inside of Evie's dagger all this time. Like, that's a lot of faith to put on a single item for years. Since he was a kid, to like hide his magic in, and like, oh, well, I'm sure he's never gonna get stabbed by this. Like, what are the coincidences, you know?
Yeah, the core healer thing did not surprise me.
Yeah.
That was like kind of in the back of my head as a possibility. The dagger thing surprised me.
I think I was more surprised by the dagger than him being a core healer.
Yeah, no, 100% by like a wide margin. And I still don't even know if I fully understand the dagger bit, to be honest with you.
No.
I was like, wait, but why? Like,
and they say that a piece of his magic is still inside of Evie because of her scar. and that a piece of her magic's in him, but I'm wondering, how is that possible? Like, how does he have a part of her magic? And does this transcend the world being rewritten? Does she still have this scar from the dagger and have a piece of his magic? Important questions to ask.
Yeah. I'm like, why the dagger? That just seems... So it's why I think that at the end of this, we're going to find out that the parents were maybe trying to do more good than we realized.
Well, like, fuck them still. I don't like any of them. You guys all fucking suck.
That something about this seems like it had to kind of happen this way.
Yeah.
And their parents were part of orchestrating that to some extent. And like, I don't know. I'm just like, what do the parents know that we don't know yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Please tell us sooner rather than later. Thank you.
So we've kind of already talked about Tristan acting out chapter 6, which we all enjoyed. But what do you think about our characters kind of like unofficially participating in this book club, all reading the Cunning Corset Society? They kind of were all unintentionally buddy reading this book, it turned out, throughout. And I just thought this was such a funny element to add.
I loved it. I fully agree. It was a funny element. Even to have Edwin, the ogre cook, reading smut, I was like, hell yeah. And then just all of the girls kind of being surprised, like, wait, you guys know what this is?
Yeah.
I want to see in the next book, which I know there's so much to be done and wrapped up, and we don't even know where everyone is, but I would love to see a formal book club. I would love to see them actually planning on all reading together and organizing this.
If you had to pick a book for them to read, what would it be?
Like a modern book?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, do I want them for smut or for trauma?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Obviously thrown a glass for trauma. No, for smut, I probably would recommend that they read Deep End or Mate. Ali Hazelwood, or I feel like they would really enjoy Quicksilver by Kelly Hart.
Oh yeah, those are good picks. Those are really good picks.
Yeah, I don't like, it's not erotica, which it seems to be more Evie's style. So unfortunately, I don't have a good rec there. I don't know.
If you could watch the Love Hypothesis adaptation with one character from the book, who would it be?
Oh my God. Wait. Who would I want to watch it with? Because like initially I'm like, obviously Evie, but then I feel like it would be really fun to watch it with Blade too.
Yeah. Or Tatiana.
I did go to Tatiana too. Yeah. I feel like Tatiana would fuck with that. She would totally be all over. She would be in love with pumpkin spice. So she would would love Olive for that. Which character would you want to watch the Love Hypothesis with?
I think I'm bouncing around the same three that you are, but I also think it would be funny to watch Tristan watch that movie.
Especially
and watch him
the sunscreen.
Try not to laugh. Like
he's like, well, they're just acquaintances and they're in a formal work setting and they're not actually dating. Like, sorry, sit down.
I'd be like, take some notes, okay?
Yeah. So you see how he moves his tongue. Just kidding. They're not going to show that. They're not going to show that.
But I just think it'd be funny watching him try not to laugh.
Yeah. I'll be like, see, Sage, we could have been worse. Actually, I feel like their situation's a little bit worse.
Yeah.
What book would you recommend for the book club, though?
I think your picks are really good.
Heated Rivalry. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I know what you're gonna say.
Ice Planet Barbarians.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Listen, it'll be really fun.
Evie definitely has that on her bookshelf.
Yeah, she does. She 100% does.
Damn, I know that we already sent Hannah Nicole Maehrer like 50 questions, but I feel like we gotta add that. Sorry about it.
If we have time.
If we have time.
Oh my goodness.
Lord. Okay. So, on a more serious note, not really. Throughout the book, Alyssa seemingly foreshadowed what was going to happen with the Rennedawn Prophecy by manifesting through her own creative writing. I don't know if this is part of her Starlight magic. I'm a little bit inclined to say it is an ability of hers. I know you and I are kind of debating on that. But it makes me literally want to reread every single thing that Lissa ever wrote, including the short story they found, Tristan and the Lost Princess. What?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, did we get the I feel like if we had details of that story, it probably would be in book 2 when they went back to the house. Listen,
we're going to have to reread at some point.
That's a very suspicious title.
It's highly suspicious given the circumstances. It makes me wonder if Evie actually is a princess.
Yeah, you know what? We're here. Let's just talk about it. So
Okay. So it's impossible not to start theory spiraling around these parts.
It's like, is she already a princess, or is it because Tristan's a prince? And I mean, like, obviously they're going to be married by the end of this, and so therefore she would take his title and become a princess. But I feel like then wouldn't Gideon also be a prince, and Lissa would also be a princess? Unless I'm half convinced that Lissa's like Destiny. I don't even know. Like, are they related? Like, they're definitely related, right?
I wonder if Evie is only their half sibling and her dad wasn't her dad.
Could be. The Lost Princess, like Tangled. Oh my God. And I'm always telling people, if they haven't read this book before, I'm like, it gives like Tangled vibes, but like The Office and like Shrek. Oh my God.
So
I would lose my shit, like, to respectfully.
Yeah. You know what's funny too is I never care about characters being royalty at all. Like, that is not something I ever care about. But for this book in particular, Evie being a lost princess would be perfect.
That would be insane. I think more likely it's going to be because of her reuniting with Tristan in the next book. But that would be so crazy. Like, what would the odds be that both of the main characters are revealed later in the series to be royalty? Yeah, no, there's
that would be funny.
Just that one title has me spiraling. But anyway, what do you think will the actual question for the prompt here?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's fine. I highly encourage us going off on tangents. And fun fact, my psychiatrist moved like 2 months ago, and I haven't found a new doctor yet. So I'm just raw dogging without my ADHD meds here. So, anyway.
Welcome to my life.
It sucks. Anyway, so if this is an ability that Lissa has, and it's not just a plot device where she's foreshadowing, but like it's actually something that she is creating into existence, what do you think will happen? And do you think this will put a target on Lissa's back because she's interfering with Destiny, who claims to be the true storyteller? Because to me, I'm like, well, Lissa's also a true storyteller. If everything she's writing down, even just her naming Fate Moira, and then Fate was Moira.
I mean, it's suspicious.
It's like the never-ending story. I'm like, Lissa, can you just like sit your ass down and write here, King Benedict dies a very painful death, Tristan becomes king, and Evie and Tristan have a happily ever after. Like, just write that down.
Yeah. I do think that Lissa is definitely doing something, and it's a question of whether or not she's manifesting it or predicting it. Like, maybe she can see the truth of things or into the future of things, and we just don't realize it. So it could definitely be either. I don't know which, but I definitely think this is an ability, and I do think it's tied to her starlight magic, because I also think the starlight magic is like very closely directly tied to fate/destiny.
Yes, it definitely is.
So.
Yeah, maybe she's able to see through the eyes of the stars at night and then see everything or something. But yeah, I was feeling it was more of a manifestation, but it very well could be that she's like a seer.
Yeah. So it's one or the other for sure. And I do think it's tied to her magic. And I do think it's something she's doing. I don't think this is a coincidence. And it could just be like a foreshadowing tool that the author uses to like foreshadow things and like Easter things in. But I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it either. I definitely think it's very intentional that it's something Lissa's doing that I don't think she necessarily realizes she's doing it. But I also think people really underestimate Lissa.
They do.
And this could just be her like waiting for people to figure it out. I could totally see her doing
that. Would be something that she would do.
I think it's also maybe particularly why oftentimes she's not afraid when you think she would be afraid. Because I think maybe she's just really confident in how things are going to turn out.
Oh.
Because, like, if I was her, I'd be terrified. Like, all the time. Just a little girl.
Yeah, I'm just a baby.
Yeah.
All these horrible things are going to happen. I know how it's going to happen and I can't stop it, but oof.
But she always seems kind of confident that things are going to be okay.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean-
and so I think it might be just because she has like this know-how
She did.
that it will be.
She did ask Tristan when he's going to marry Evie.
I know. Oh, that was another scene that was so good when they fall out of the chair.
And broke it. Okay, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Evie also sat in that chair and was broken. And she's like, oh, just like
Yeah.
Tristan. Why? Because he was sniffing your pillow. And I asked him if he was going to marry you. Oh my God, I was dead. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was another good scene.
I laughed really hard on that one too. I really needed to laugh when I got this book, so it was perfect timing.
Me too. This book improved my mental health so much.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how much it improved.
Yeah. No, this book really just kind of picks you up. It's great. And you need those books sometimes because I'm going through Thorn of Glass right now, and it is not always
Me
good
too.
times. It is sometimes sad times.
I literally finished this book and now I'm like, let's ruin it all and read the Song of Achilles.
You might have to reread this book.
Yeah, I will.
All right, so let's move on to this other topic. We have Moira, aka Fate, casually mentioned that the other kingdoms all have their own stories, prophecies. It says, quote, for the creation of the magical continent, we wrote a story, a new one for each kingdom. And in the library, Mo told Gideon, who was pretending to be from the southern continent, your kingdom storybook prophecy is its own dilemma. You weren't curious about that? And then Gideon thought, that's a tidbit to file for later. I mean, what the fuck?
Reminded me of like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when Mickey Mouse goes, that's a tool for later. Like something.
For me, it was like Blue's Clues. Like, that's a clue.
That's a clue. Yeah. Or that audio that's trending with Nicolas Cage. That's a clue. Clue.
Yeah. That's a more modern reference.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it does feel that way. But do you think we'll see the other kingdom storybooks in the next book?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. So I was holding this in earlier when I was talking about Kingsley. But I think part of the reason why he chose to become a frog is because he is trying to escape his own kingdom's prophecy, and or by manipulating Rennedawn's prophecy, maybe that will actually fulfill the Southern Kingdom's prophecy. So I feel like there's a lot of manipulation going on here for multiple reasons, and we don't know exactly why. We don't even know all the names of all the kingdoms. Like, I don't know if we have a whole world map, so I don't expect to get all of them, but I do at the very least expect to figure out the Southern Kingdoms. And I went through my highlights for Accomplice to the Villain earlier, trying to see if I had highlighted anything about a prophecy or anything weird. I think I just have to reread the whole book because I don't know if it was already hinted at in the last one. I don't know, but I think we will. What about you?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both, personally. I do think there's a good chance we're going to get a spin-off series eventually with one of these other stories. Yeah. And that Kingsley's story is going to be important in the next book, but that it also might not be enough to tie up his whole arc, whatever's going on, and that we might get a spin-off just for Kingsley, which I'm really hoping for, personally, because I find Kingsley very interesting. So this might just be my hopes and dreams and not
reality.
Rooted in reality.
No.
But I also think Hannah Nicole Maehrer is like actually very like attached to
this world,
these characters and this world, and I could definitely see her wanting to return to it at some point and write it in again.
Definitely. I think this for sure opens the door for her to do a spinoff. It seems we've made the same conclusion.
Yeah. So hopefully a little bit of both, because like at this point we don't necessarily know. Like she, there could be more kingdoms and continents and everything, and like there could be lots of stories. So she could just keep expanding the world if she wanted to. And yeah, I'd love to see what she comes up with next. She's so creative.
She is. And she's an autobi author, so I will literally read anything that she writes.
Yeah. And I will say, if you love the ending of this book.
Who doesn't?
Like, there's another series you should read.
Oh, is that series called the Glacian Trilogy by chance?
No.
Oh.
Everybody should read the Glacian Trilogy, to be clear.
I'm sad. Okay, what is it?
And that ending nearly wrecked me. Listen, Ledge is so good. I love Ledge. But if you want an ending, I feel like that left me feeling similarly in a series.
To Adversary.
To Adversary specifically, I would read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series.
Oh.
So if people out there are looking for like more of that feeling, I would read that series.
Okay.
It's not, I feel like this book is like a dark rom-com fairy tale retelling, and it's not rom-com-y at all. But if you want a similar type ending feeling, I feel like one of the books in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series is going to give you that feeling.
I'm intrigued. So we've talked a lot about the Rennedawn Prophecy. I know there are a couple lines that stand out to us that we want to talk about and just maybe brainstorm off of. We're not going to read the whole thing because, dear Lord, it is long.
It is long.
The first one I want to talk about is the person who rescues the magical lands will take this fate's youngling well in hand. Didn't Evie technically already save the magical land with like the painting of the magic after she went in that one cave? I could be totally misremembering because it's been over a year since I had read the other books.
I think so.
And so, like, to me, I feel like if she saved a portion of the land and already helped rescue it, now we know in this new world, she has the Guvras with her. Fergus was a homie with her. So I'd like to believe that she also has Fate's youngling. And we also know Rebecca, they imprinted on Rebecca, and she literally has magic tied to the land. So that could also be referring to Rebecca and restoring.
That is a really good point.
It could be her restoring like the Fortis, whatever they call her house. So
yeah, the Fortis Fortress.
Fortress. I knew it was an alliteration, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, Fortis Fort? I'm like, that's lame. Fortress. Okay. So it could be.
You know, that's a really good point. It could be Rebecca. It could be multiple people. Maybe like Evie needed to do that and Rebecca needs something else.
Prophecy could apply to multiple people.
Yeah, that's what's tough about it is I feel like there's so many ways to interpret a lot of these lines that I'm like, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. I mean, yeah, it's tough. I was doing that the whole book. I had the whole prophecy in chapter 12 highlighted and was going back to it as I was reading. It was to the point where I remember it's chapter 12 and I don't generally remember what chapter things are in. That's not the way my memory
54.
works. And I'm like, chapter 12.
Chapter 54, chapter 89. Chapter 12.
Yeah, I don't remember the other. I know we get like more bits and pieces, but I remember like the big chunk of it is in chapter
12.
Chapter 12. And I was referring to it quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think if I had to choose between Evie and Rebecca, I just convinced myself it's Rebecca for that line.
Okay. I also feel like it could be Lissa.
Oh.
Because Lissa is the one that brought the eggs back to life.
Mm-hmm. And she made the beef cookies for the little babies. It could be.
So I definitely think it could be her.
It also does talk about the stars and light a few lines before then.
Yeah. And right after it, the very next line after it is one of the ones I had wanted to chat about, which is when luck and starlight must fall together. And that's the very next line. And obviously she has starlight magic. But it's like when luck and starlight must fall together. I'm like, what is like, I feel like luck could be so many things. And I wonder if it's somebody's ability we don't know yet.
Yeah, well, something that I'm going to beg Hannah to answer in our interview is, can we figure out what Kingsley's magic is? Does he have magic? We have no idea what his magic is. I also don't know if we know what Keely's magic is, but I could see her being luck somehow. Just it seems like she gets pretty lucky in a lot of the situations that she's in where it's like really dangerous.
That's true. That's a good point. I'd also say weirdly, and as far as I don't know that he doesn't believe, I don't think he has any magic, but Blade, he works with these very dangerous creatures.
Oh my God.
And he's like never seriously hurt, and he doesn't.
He never,
like he
that motherfucker should have died.
Yeah, like I feel like, and like it was kind of like luck that he fell in with Tristan and all of them and all of that. So I wonder if he maybe has an ability he doesn't know about.
But why do they have to fall together?
Yeah, I'm like, what does that mean? Maybe it's something about their magic, like melding their magic together with something. I don't know.
Interesting.
But I feel like Blade could be the other one that has some sort of magical ability tied to luck that maybe he doesn't realize. Or I guess he could be hiding. Like maybe he feels like it's luck, but maybe sometimes it's bad luck. And so he never tries to use it because he never knows which way it's going to fall.
Maybe that's why he dresses so loudly to confuse the luck. I don't know. I don't know. My brain blacked out.
Or just to distract. Like he has this like very big personality and clothes, and it's to distract from something else going on with him.
I feel like we need to search the word luck in the book.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I feel like we do, and that could help us to narrow it down.
Help us. All right.
I actually want to go back a few lines.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
So there's this line says, and the magic that balances all dreamed of is the key to saving the world in true love. She causes pain. He's a healer. Their magic balances each other. The key to saving the world in true love. I mean, like, they're obviously true loves. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But what if it was never a physical key and it was always just their romance? So it's just true love's kiss again.
Well, but why didn't the first time? Like, did the first time it do something we just didn't realize it?
I don't know. I mean, like, didn't the true love's kiss save her from the poison? And then that's when their magic started transferring over. And they also have this tingling that we don't really have explained, at least that I remember.
True.
We don't have it explained in any of the books, how they physically have sensations whenever they're connected. And that still happens in the new world.
Yeah,
maybe
that's true.
She's the lock and he's the key, and they just have to open the door, if you know what I mean.
Well, they've done that more than once, so it doesn't seem to have worked
maybe
yet,
they have to do it on a full moon, Karly. God,
I don't know.
Maybe they have to say magic words. I don't know.
Maybe
they didn't manifest it. I'm just kidding.
They don't really believe in themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that's interesting. I definitely think that they are like their two magics balance each other. So it
works. Another line I want to discuss was the heart of the true prince will save his fated love. This could be Tristan or it could be Kingsley. I still go back and forth. I do not know who is the true prince and or the true villain for that matter, because in this book Kingsley had said to Evie, well, then that just makes me your adversary. And if she's the adversary to the villain, doesn't that make him the villain?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
I don't know.
But another possibility, if Evie is a lost princess and somehow her and her siblings are
oh my God, it's going to be Keely and Gideon.
Could be Gideon. It's not canon yet, but we're just like, we have that theory because of the Lost Princess book from Lissa that like if they all are somehow royalty, we don't know.
We're just spiraling.
It could be Gideon. I don't know.
It could be.
I feel like at this point the list is every character. I'm like, it's the Guvra. Well, the Guvra is the true prince. Maybe
Nura Sage is always gone because she's off running her kingdom.
Maybe. I don't know. Could be anything.
That's crazy. The heart of the true prince. Maybe they just have to go to the Heart City again.
Oh, interesting.
The heart of the true prince will save his fated love. I mean, he already did. He already saved her, though. He already kissed her and saved her. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to just keep spiraling.
All right.
It says, so they keep saying, oh, we're doomed. We're destined to kill each other. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that shit is not in the prophecy. It says, evil will fall, kingdoms will rise. It never says the villain is evil. We know the king is evil. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I think that's kind of a bit of a commentary, though, on how people view themselves and, like, you know, like how, like in many ways, like they say, like the villain is written by the victors. And at this point, they're not the victors yet. So I think that there's also a commentary there on like who's the true villain and what makes somebody a villain.
Yeah. Well, she might be the villain, but she's not evil.
That's true.
All I know is they're going to get their happy ending in more way than one.
They better.
Yep.
And we also have this line that's revealed from that storybook, the child storybook, My Love, My Son, that is revealed to them by the Book of Rennedawn. And the final line is one touch to fix all and unlock the door.
Huh.
And I just read that and I'm like, an actual door? Like a real, like, they do have a key, like a physical key. Maybe there's an actual door that needs to be unlocked.
Maybe it's that like wishing cave or whatever. I don't know why I keep referring to this cave so much, but is it the door? Is it a window? Maybe why didn't they just take that key and put it into the boss's office door? No one tried that. Nobody tried this.
I don't know. I'm sure they've tried a lot of things, but like somewhere I feel like we're gonna find that there's an actual door, and this key they've been carting around for the prophecy is actually needed for that real door.
And it starts with once lost, once found. Bitch, if it's about the princess, I swear to God, bro. Once lost, once found. What's put together will be bound. Where sunlight shines unvarnished and pure love forms. One touch to fix all and unlock the door. This is about them getting back together. This is straight up just them getting back together. It's them realizing who they are, being bound together, and he's gonna sexually unlock her door. Because remember, he made a big deal about how she always sat exactly where that window, the stained glass window was, which, by the way, was a depiction of them. I have thoughts and feelings on that.
Yeah.
But once lost, once found. I don't know. Could be about the princess.
Could be about this lost princess that Lissa's been writing about.
And the prince. Damn. Even Kingsley was technically lost. God damn. Okay, we need to move on. Unless you have more thoughts.
All right. No, I just read that and my brain was like, do they mean an actual door? What door? There's so many doors.
There's so many doors. They need to stop production of doors immediately. And then only go to some doors to test it out. Yeah. That is the solution. Okay.
There we go. Perfect. We solved it.
All right. Are there any other scenes or moments you want to discuss before we move on to our characters? I feel like we've discussed a lot of.
I feel like we've discussed a lot. Okay. I don't think so. I think I'm good. I feel like halfway through this, I'll probably be like, oh, wait, and this. But that's fine.
Bring it up whenever you want.
People are used to that by now.
There's one last moment that I want to bring up that I just think is funny and relatable. Chapter 10 is my mental state 90% of the time. And it was just Kingsley saying, fuck. And that's it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the whole chapter. And I was like, haha, me.
Yeah.
That's all. That's just the only other scene.
That's funny. All right. Which character was your favorite?
I'm basic, so hence basic and bookish. Just kidding. We're both basic in our own ways.
Yeah.
Tristan. Evie.
Yeah.
Them together.
I did. I loved every scene they were in, every time they were on the page. If they were on the page together. Oh, and you know what? This is bringing up like a micro scene where they're at a table and like Tristan is doing something and it's from Gideon's perspective actually, but he looks over and he notices Tristan just like without looking grabbing her chair and dragging it over next to him. Oh. I don't know what that microtrope is. I don't know what you want to call it. But when male characters do things without looking, I don't know what that is, but it melts me every time. And when they grab the chair and pull her closer to them so that she's even closer, I'm like, you're in arm's reach, but that wasn't close enough. And they pull them closer and they have that little back and forth of, he's like, the villain sits at the head of the table or the boss sits at the head of the table, Evie. She said, well, then I'll sit on the other side. He's like, no, you won't. It was so good.
Listen.
It was so good.
I eat up everything that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite, but just because he's so good. I loved how down bad he was, but how open about it he was. Yeah. How he was just like, I'm trying to be fun for you, and I'm reading romance to learn romance for you, and
he said the L word. He said he loves her. He said, I'll be her husband. The king's like, you'll be her lapdog. He's like, actually, bitch, I'll be her husband.
Yeah. I loved how open he was with his feelings for her in this book. I think he was my favorite.
Me too. Okay.
Evie was a close second. She's been, I think, my favorite this whole series, and Tristan was probably my favorite this book.
Yes. Are there any other characters you'd like to discuss? I know at this point we have discussed Kingsley at length. I mean, do you still like him after his betrayal?
I do. I actually feel bad for him because I feel like getting in his perspective and seeing how he was like talking about how it was like difficult for him to like relearn how to speak and like to speak in full sentences and things like that. And how his perspective of the world had changed and how different it was to be able to look his friends in the eyes all the time and to know that when he's a frog, like how there was like good and bad to it, but he was often overlooked as much as his friends tried to make him keep him a part of everything. And so I really felt for him. And I do feel like he believes he's doing this to help everybody. Yeah. Like, I do believe he believes he's trying to help everybody. And maybe to a certain extent, what he was doing did need to also happen. Like, maybe we were going to find out some of those things were necessary. So, I don't know, but I feel for him because I feel like he did all of this to protect his friends, and now he's kind of temporarily lost them, even though they still love him.
Yeah, definitely. I still like him. I have trust issues. I know, obviously, we're being led to believe a certain thing, and there's more to the story. So I'm just waiting for that story.
Yeah. I definitely want more of Winifred. I find her very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. Like, what did he hire you for?
But I do like Winifred, though. I find her very interesting. And I think the fact that she went back to try to help with the funeral and stuff out of love for the dad, I just thought that was really sweet. Yeah, a lot of really good characters in this book. I enjoyed them all. There's not like a character that I'm like, oh, I don't like this person. I enjoy all of them.
Me too. And I think Claire grew a lot in this book too. And I know that we're about to talk about the relationships. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but
that's okay.
Just like Tatiana and Claire talking it out, realizing their mistakes in the past, and even just Claire asking for permission to marry Tati. I love that because I love Tatiana. I think she's just so cute. I love her style. Yeah. I love how happy she is. And
I love her too. I've loved her since the very first book. She was so great in the first book because she was such a good friend to Evie from the very beginning.
And like, obviously love Blade, love Rebecca. Her brothers showing up was pretty random. I feel like there's more there that we don't know 100% what's going on with them yet. But the only characters I just like don't like are the parents.
No, the parents all suck.
Except for Tati's dad. We like him. Jellyfish Jones.
I'm hoping for some spinoffs so we can see some of these other relationships develop, since I'm guessing we're only getting one more book in this exact series. So we're not going to have enough time to see, I feel like, Gideon and Keeley and Winifred and Kingsley develop the way I would love. Yeah. So hopefully we get some spinoffs.
Yeah, at least I'm so grateful that we got more Blade and Rebecca in this book too. Like, they had their own spicy time. And I love how every time someone thinks they're going to be so sly and go off on their own to get spicy, they come back all disheveled. And everyone's like, why is your hair like that? Why is your shirt in tatters? Everyone is clocking everybody.
Yeah.
No one
totally getting called
nobody
out
is
all the
discreet.
time. It's so funny.
Yeah, I love all the multiple relationships and the budding relationships.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Same. Are you ready to move on to theories?
I am. Okay. Moving on to the section that you and I love the most, that we have really not avoided. We've basically turned this entire episode into a theory section.
Yeah, we always do. We can't help
It's just the way our brains work, okay? But with everything that happened at the end, what do you think is going to happen next?
I think at the end of the book, Tristan was already starting to remember, personally.
I subscribe to that.
I'm holding on to that because it gives me hope.
Yeah, I think it was more like his body reacting and less him knowing, because he was like, wait, this isn't right. I shouldn't let this guard threaten my woman. And I don't like, do you think that the key being left behind was intentional, or do you think that was fate, Moira intervening, or do you think that was fully like Tristan's like, I know what the significance of this key is and I'm going to leave it for her?
I think it was like an inkling of she needs to have this, and him maybe not being sure why, but going with his gut instinct. But I think he was starting to realize that there was something about her that he knew and should trust and didn't know why. So I think he's like starting to remember.
I already know that this next book is going to be my shit.
I know. I'm going to read that book so fast. I'm going to take a day off work.
From how it is set up, I know I'm going to eat the shit out of this. Usually I'm like, I can't stand it if people forget who they are, but I'm like, no, this is different. This is different.
Yeah, I definitely think he was starting to remember. There is like a specific moment where he says something to her and he has kind of like this reaction. And I'm like, oh, I think he's starting to remember in this moment that like something's going on. So personally, I think that's what's happening. And I want the next book to end with just Evie getting everything she deserves. Like if she wants a fairy tale wedding, that. If she wants to go elope, that. Like whatever she wants. But
they deserve it. They deserve everything.
Like, and he clearly wants to be married to her. So I want them to have all
He's
the
so
things.
down bad. I am so ready for him to just be struggling with, wait, but I'm the crown prince. I can't be with the villain, but she's so hot. I love her. And like, oh my God. And he's just going to defy his father again. I'm ready.
And I will beg on my hands and knees too for a "that's my wife" moment.
Girl.
I need that.
We got to send that to Hannah. Be like, please.
I will get down on my knees. I will pray, please. I need a "that's my wife" or "where's my wife" moment in the next book.
Oh my God. I'm not making it out alive if that happens.
I will combust. Okay?
Whew.
I would crawl for that moment, okay? Like, I need it viscerally.
This next book's going to be phenomenal. Okay, I need to cool down a little bit.
But I do think they're eventually going to figure out, though, that Lissa is kind of the key to figuring this out. Because I think she's the key to figuring it out, whether she's manifesting it or knows. Like, she just has some sort of internal knowledge. I think she's the key.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to know is, who has Lissa? Where is she? Because we know that Gideon is part of the King's Guard. I mean, it's not called the Valiant Guard. And they have an agreement just to not interfere with each other. So in this world, did Nura abandon her family too? It would make sense for Destiny to try to keep all of the siblings apart because they play such a big role in this prophecy. But Destiny also still wants the prophecy to come to fruition. So who knows? But where is she? And does she remember? Because I know that you also think that another creature remembers.
Oh, yeah. I think the Guvra somehow knows because the Guvra still has its scar from when it got stabbed with the spear. And so, like, some of these wounds still exist. So it'll be interesting to know, too, if Evie still has some of her scars and maybe she, like...
With Tristan's magic.
Yeah. So
Or... what I'm dying to know, do they still have their gold ink tattoos where they can sense if they're in danger?
Yeah.
I want to know if they still have that.
I think it's highly suspicious that they weren't mentioned this whole book.
At all. She wants us to forget.
We see you. We see you, Hannah.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it remembers. The issue is, how does Evie communicate with Fergus to get it? Because I think, didn't Fate literally say, well, you never asked them what their name was, so is there a way for them to actually communicate with these creatures? It would make sense that because they're Fate's children, they would remember and know.
It wouldn't surprise me if Lissa could communicate with them.
Lissa and Mape, oh my God. What if that's Blade's magic is communicating with these creatures and so he can communicate?
That would make sense. So, listen, Blade has to have some sort of ability we just don't know about. That maybe he doesn't even quite realize.
Maybe we already know as readers, but we just forgot. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, and I just wonder if it's kind of instinctual. Like, you have a dog. Like, I have a dog. Like, you know how you can kind of look at your dog and just know what they think?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? Like, I wonder if it's that, if he has some sort of instinctual communication with them that he doesn't realize isn't just like him, like, bonding with them over time. That, like, it's actually more innate than that. Or... if we really can't communicate with them and has been hiding it for some reason, I just don't know why he would hide that.
No.
I could see him hiding the luck thing because he doesn't want people to abuse it.
The luck would be more likely to be a hidden ability. I don't think that he would keep communication with animals a secret.
Yeah.
But then it also means, could he have communicated or read Kingsley's mind the entire time, but never outed Kingsley? I don't know. All these hypotheticals, but what I do think is going to happen / not gonna happen, or it already happened, but by them enacting this curse, they're technically following the original prophecy. Like, this was all meant to happen because the Book of Rennedawn showed them this stained glass window, and like the window already existed, but it literally depicts Tristan and Evie in a field of wildflowers running towards each other but not quite touching hands, and then everything goes into this new world. Destiny and fate and Benedict and whoever else might pretend like this has to happen, we've messed it up too much, and so that's why we're changing things and we're cursing you, and this is gonna ruin the prophecy. Like, no, it's not. This was literally still part of the prophecy. Like, this was also predicted. So I'm not panicking because I know that this agonizing slow burn that I will have to live through again will be wonderful, and it was meant to happen.
I mean, I definitely believe we're getting a happily ever after.
Oh, yeah. There's, like, obviously we're getting a wedding. That's the only thing I hope happens.
Yeah. Like, I need it at this point, you know? Or whatever type of union that they want. I just want the characters to have what they want, you know?
Yes.
Ugh. I just keep thinking about getting that "That's My Wife" or "Where's My Wife" scene. I need it.
Girl, stop, girl.
Okay. I just can't stop thinking about it.
I needed to. Do you think that everybody is still together in the massacre manor, or do you think that everybody's fates were mixed up? Because I know Tatiana and Edwin basically only started working there because of their relationship with Tristan. So now that Tristan's the prince, do you think it's likely that Tatiana and Edwin ever end up working for the villain? Or even Blade? Like, I think Blade and Rebecca could end up there by themselves.
Yeah.
Without Tristan being in the picture. But, like, I could see Claire and Tati being married or engaged.
Well, Evie has the Guvra at the end, which makes me think she has Blade.
Blade and Rebecca, I want to say.
I would hope Rebecca, but I also think it's possible that Rebecca is now just like working for Tristan over in the castle just to get away from her family.
She could also just be at Fortis Fortress.
She could just be at Fortis Fortress.
Because, like I said, maybe they don't actually want this prophecy enacted, and so they're trying to have all these key players separated.
Yeah. I could see Gideon having custody of Lyssa and being a valiant guard.
You think Gideon has the time for that?
I mean, he might have to. Maybe this is his redemption arc, you know, to show that, like, he could also take care of Lyssa and he could be the brother she needed and deserved. I just think it's possible that we'll see very different versions, but I do think Blade is with Evie.
Okay.
I don't know if the rest of them are. I could see maybe, like,
that'd break my heart.
Some of them had worked with Tristan over in the castle, but became disenchanted with Benedict and ended up going and working for Evie. So that would be interesting to see them also coming to the realization, like, Benedict is not great.
And then they would kind of root for their relationship because they're like, guys, you perfect match for each other.
Yeah.
Because they would know Tristan, and then they would also know Evie.
Yeah. But I definitely think you saying that Becky could be at the Fortis Fortress is very possible, because I think that that's a place we might want to explore more.
Yeah. Well,
and so that would be a way of doing it. For
who knows what reason, they had the Destiny monster trapped there.
Yeah.
So.
We shall see.
Yeah. I hope they're still together. I can only handle so many characters being torn apart, and it's driving me insane that we only know where the Guvra, Evie, Gideon, and Tristan are.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway. Do you think Kingsley is still a frog in the new world, or do you think he was never cursed?
I don't think he's going to be a frog in this world.
Like, not even just changing between human and frog? You think just in general, like, never was turned? Or is completely cured?
I'm going to guess that he was never a frog.
Okay.
Or that the reason he was a frog has something to do with his magic that we still don't know what it is.
So you think he was not turned into a frog because of magic that he already has?
Well, because he says like it was actually like his fault or his choice that it happened. And I'm like, well, maybe he can turn into other things and he just got stuck in one of those other things. So I don't think we're going to find that he's been stuck as a frog this whole time.
Do you think he would still be best friends with Tristan because they are princes of neighboring kingdoms?
Yeah. So I think him and Tristan would still be friends. But I don't think he's been a frog personally. I don't think we're going to find out that he's been a frog personally. But maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if he's not a frog, then will we ever find answers as to why he did what he did?
Well, maybe in this new world, he's been cursed to sometimes turn into, like, maybe it's a Shrek situation. Maybe he turns into a frog at night.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's so hard because we don't know why he cursed himself in the first place. So we don't know if Tristan never becoming the villain. Wait, the whole reason why he turned into a frog was because it was staged to get Tristan because he was the villain. And that's why Tristan blamed himself forever because he thought that his own mother was going to curse him. And Claire had given it away that he was going to be there. So if Tristan never became the villain, then I don't think Kingsley would have turned into a frog in this world. Because the whole reason why it happened was because it was allegedly supposed to be a trap for the villain, right?
Well, and maybe he thought that this would fix everybody and make it so that he never had to be a frog.
Maybe.
And we'll find out that his destiny was always to have to be a frog for a period of time and it didn't avoid it. And he's still a frog.
That'd be funny. Yeah, but it makes me wonder why he's known for so long what this prophecy was and just like never told anybody.
Maybe it's that he first knew his own prophecy.
Yep, because there's definitely one for him.
Yeah, and now he's learned about this one and has realized what has to happen in order to fix him being stuck as a frog.
That's very true. Now, we learn about the Cape of Enchantment, which there's only 10 really that exist. And then we know randomly the Fortis family, theirs is made of silk. Okay, brother.
Yeah.
What do you think the significance is? Like, do you think it's solely just to pass on the familial magic? Or do you think that there's more to it? Like the item itself has magic to it?
I think the significance is going to be that people have made these little pieces from it, like the little handkerchief, I think is what we saw in this book.
It was a handkerchief, yeah.
And then we're going to find out that these items do carry some sort of magic people can use.
Well, it almost made me wonder if the handkerchief is what cured Kingsley, because it was belonging to Winifred's mother who cursed him.
Maybe that's what it was.
And that's what he wrote "It's me" on, but I'm like, why did it take him so long to get that? Maybe it's similar to the flower and the dagger, how it's imbued with other people's magic.
Yeah.
My last question I have for you here, we did slightly, we have talked about the funeral multiple times. We've talked about Kingsley multiple times and Winifred and how he's like, serve me or work for me or whatever. How do you think that she aided him?
I have no idea.
Me too, girl.
That ending really was a twist that I did not see coming. I did not see Kingsley killing Amara. I did see Kingsley like going for Winifred and going and getting her and bringing her back. That made sense to me. Killing Amara threw me. I'm glad somebody finally did because
she deserved it.
Not great. Yeah, she's kind of awful.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a silk. I don't know.
It could have been a silk.
So, like, could have been a silk.
Like, do we even know if the silk is dead? We know it got shot in the chest, but like, did it die?
I don't know that we know it's for sure it's
dead.
It pierced
and we don't
know that there's only one.
And you know what? Maybe that's not where its heart was, but that's just where a human heart is. So they thought that shooting it there would kill it, but its actual heart is in a different location.
Well, also, maybe it's like other magical creatures. We have to kill them in a really specific way.
Like you have to behead it.
Yeah.
Or use like, a wooden stake or silver.
Exactly. So I don't know. It could definitely still be alive, or there could be another one out there. There's a lot of ways to write that in. I'm just saying, it could be a silk.
It could be the silk. I actually thought initially that Tristan was a silk after they jumped off the ship because he just like disappeared under the water. And he's like, oh, you're finally going to tell him. And he like knew everything. And so there was a moment where I actually was convinced that Tristan was the silk.
Yeah.
I was like, don't tell me.
Yeah. So I am very curious to see what Winifred was doing to help him. I'm just very curious about that whole thing, and I really don't have any hard and fast theories. I really feel like I got to reread the series.
No, me too. I definitely feel like I do. Gosh, this is not a theory, just more of a frustration that I had. But every time they would figure out something very vital, they would, in front of prisoners or other individuals, just be like, this is what we have to do. And I'm like, why would you tell them? You obviously have traitors. Like, they're openly discussing what to do in front of Marv, in front of Otis's son. I don't remember what his name was. He has the broken kneecaps. They're like talking about it in front of these people. And I'm like, you guys really need to stop talking about all of your plans out loud in front of creatures or people who maybe shouldn't know.
Yeah.
I don't like that there's Silk out there, because now I'm going to second guess every single action that every single character does. Is it really them, or is it Silk?
Well, who knows?
Dang.
Maybe there's a way to tell.
Okay, I actually have one more question for you regarding theories. Okay. Do you think that people who died in the timeline that we know, like Arthur and Amara and Winifred's mother, do you think that they're actually dead still? Or do you think that this new timeline makes it so that they got resurrected? And once the curse actually gets broken, do you think they're gonna, if they were resurrected, do you think that they're gonna then die? Or do you think they're gonna stay alive?
I am going to believe that since the Guvra still has its scar,
that people are still dead.
They are dead.
Okay.
Because mostly, I want most of those people that are dead to still be dead.
I mean, we found out Arthur was kind of a good guy. We don't have a reason.
I liked Arthur.
Yeah, we don't have a reason to hate Winifred's mom, but Amara, yeah.
Yeah, I want Amara gone for sure. So
yeah, I don't know if I could handle.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle everyone being resurrected.
Yeah, well, there was like her horrible boss. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of the valiant guards that they'll have to kill again.
I know. So many.
So many.
So many bodies.
Yeah, no, that's just like another thought that I had after I finished the book. There's just so many thoughts. Like, genuinely, I was like covering my eyes.
Whenever you do a time warp, it's a lot of things to think about. So,
yep. Woof. And I thought this book was chaotic. The next one's going to be insane.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts for the anticipation for the next book?
Just, I can't wait. I already know it's going to be 5 stars. I need it yesterday, and I had such a good time reading Adversary to the Villain. It's everything I needed and wanted it to be, and I'm so, so grateful that we have a relationship with Hannah Nicole Maehrer, and she's going to come on the podcast with us. Surprise! If you didn't already guess it from us mentioning it 5 gajillion times. I'm so grateful that we got an early copy, because, listen, I actually read Accomplice to the Villain in April last year. So it's been a long wait for me.
Yeah.
So it's been a really long wait.
I read it not in April. I think I read it in May. But
I was irresponsible, it's also, and I dropped the book we were supposed to be reading to read Accomplice to the Villain.
But it has been a long wait. I am very, very excited, and I will beg, borrow, or steal to get a copy of the next one as soon as possible.
Yeah, I am glad that, I know the plan was 4 books. I'm glad that there's another. I mean, I'm freaking assuming there is. In her acknowledgments, she had literally said, like, oh, sometimes the best story is the one that's not written, or like, I'm totally butchering it, but like basically said that you don't need to finish a story. I was like, no. I need you to finish the story though.
Yeah, no, you better finish this one.
Please.
We will cry forever.
Yeah, no. Oh my God, could you imagine if like the book just like ended?
Oh,
there's no way.
You hear about the happening in series, like
George R.R. Martin
with authors.
That is the number one reason why I picked up the first chapter of the first Game of Thrones book. Didn't like the content that was on the page for trigger reasons I'm not going to say. And then I was like, you know what? Why am I going to put myself through this if he's never going to finish the series? Yeah. So I refused to read Game of Thrones until the series is actually finished.
That's fair.
Anyway.
But you know what? Hannah Nicole Maehrer would never
do
that
this
to
to
us.
us.
No, she would never.
And if she did, then I would like to hope that she would at least message me and tell me like what happened, so that I can have a fake canon in my head. Like, can you just tell me that they had a happily ever after? She'd be like, they did. And I'll be like, okay, good.
Now we can go to sleep.
Now I can go to sleep.
Yeah, can't sleep until
I have not been this distraught over a book ending in a really long time.
Yeah.
Like even a Forsaken
Same.
Prophecy.
It's fun though.
No, it is fun. And that I love when a book does this because I want to continue thinking about it and I want to form a community and discuss it with other individuals, like-minded readers such as our listeners who are listening to us rant for over an hour and a half. So.
No, as far as endings go, it's like it's with Forbidden Alchemy, Night in the Moth.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just
fire,
like, girl, give me that book.
Empire of Storms.
I don't know about that
Iron
one. I've read
Flame.
it. Yeah. I'm like, girl, give me the next book. No.
Like,
I think I am more distraught and anxious over the ending of this book and anticipate the next book over the ending more than Iron Flame.
Whoa.
Personally.
Whoa. Okay. I don't relate to that. I was in a deep depression. I was listening to Hosier's song. What was it? Work song on repeat every day. I was like,
I was like,
I don't even know.
I read that ending. I won't say the ending because I don't want to spoil it here, but I read the ending and I was like,
down in the
that
cold,
makes sense.
dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to her. That was on repeat, girl. I was distraught.
Well,
I don't think I'm like that distraught because I know with 100% certainty that I will enjoy the torture of what Hannah's about to put us through. And I know that they're all going to be fine. But with Iron Flame, I was like, they're fucked. I'm still not 100% convinced it's going to be a happy ending, but that's just me. Anyway.
Yeah. I was less concerned at Iron Flame. I'm not like concerned I won't get a happy ending, but I feel like I'm more stressed over the ending about like leaving my characters where I left them. I'm like, oh no, my poor babies.
No, I am stressed about that because again, like we don't know who is still friends or in a relationship, where they're at, where they're working. Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, unfortunately.
Oh, God, this was such a good book.
Yeah,
it was so fun. Thanks for writing it, Hannah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for torturing us. We love it. Never stop.
No, just kidding.
All right, well, that's the perfect place to leave us. So this is where we're going to leave you today, Basic Book Besties. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave us a review and join us next week for an exciting interview with the author of Adversary to the Villain herself, Hannah Nicole Maehrer.
Yay! I need answers.
Yeah, same.
The moment I finished the book, I was like, thank God we are interviewing her soon because...
Yeah. We might need to stop calling them interviews and start
interrogations. Because it is 100% an interrogation. I felt so bad when we emailed Iman, her sister-in-law / assistant. I was like, look, girl, I know these are a lot of questions, but I promise you we actually narrowed it down a lot.
Yeah. And we did.
And I know that like we're delusional and Hannah's probably going to say no comment or, oh, you'll just have to wait and see to like majority of them. But I'm going to microanalyze all of her expressions.
We'll have to sweet talk her.
I'll be like, please. I'll be like, look, girl, off the record, just like girl to girl. We won't post this.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I will say, I don't know if I should admit this out loud. But at Books, Gowns, and Crowns, Hannah was like, because Kingsley's crown had fallen off of my little Kingsley. I'm wearing a crocheted Kingsley on my shoulder, if you're not watching. And I was like, oh no, he lost his crown. And she's like, that's okay, girl. Kingsley actually loses his crown in the next book. I was like, wait, what?
Like, excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah.
So maybe she'll tell me something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. Back to the outro.
Yeah, back to the outro. We're just really, really looking forward to interrogating her. And hopefully we will get some answers for all of us. So.
Yep.
If you need more bookish content, we have 4 ongoing seasons. You are currently listening to our Season 1 Book Bestie Chats featuring spice ratings, our thoughts on recent adaptations, discussions on our current reads like Adversary to the Villain, and more. We also have a crash course season for the Massverse, Fourth Wing deep dive topics, and fun author interviews. Our Massverse Season 2 content releases weekly on Thursdays, while our other seasons release episodes sporadically on Tuesdays.
You can check out our website, basicandbookishpod.com, for info about our contact form, upcoming seasons, which authors we have scheduled next, events we're attending, and more. We've linked that all down in the show notes.
You can join us over on Patreon. Highly recommend, especially for this episode, where you can access all of our episodes ad-free 3 days early and in full video. Plus extras like exclusive book club access, shoutouts on the show, PDF annotations, and more. You'll find our Patreon link in the show notes along with all the ways you can support the podcast.
Don't forget to stay in the loop by following us on social media at Basic and Bookish Pod and join us in our Discord chat. Who knows, you might just meet your next book bestie there.
I yap there like every day. So
yeah.
Until next time, reach out on Discord to let us know what you thought about that ending and how you are recovering, because I need advice. See you there.
Yeah. We'll have a group therapy chat over on Discord.
I know. I'm trying to warn people like, hey guys, it's not the last book. This ending's kind of insane. So just be prepared, because I know I was...
Hang on.
Yeah. Well, I was texting my cousin because she loves this series too. And I was like, girl, the ending's a little crazy. And she's like, I thought this was the end. And I was like, could you imagine if you went into this book thinking with that curse? God, no. So I was just like, be prepared. Yeah. Gird up your loins.
gird up your loins.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I'm fried, man.
All right. Well, on that note,
bye. That was a fun episode.
It was fun.